Welcome to the FAS Room Book tutorial for setting academic preferences. First and foremost, you want to make sure that you have the correct server parameters. So when signing in, if you see this box, you want to make sure the server is at roombook.db1.fas.harvard.edu, and the database is just EMS, all lowercase. So then you'll be prompted to sign in. You should be provided with a username and password. If not, please contact us. Once you're in EMS, you're going to head on over to the academic browser. Click it once to bring it up. Once you're in the academic browser, you want to make sure that the term is set correctly to the term you're working in this case, spring 2015. The campus is FAS and the scenario is SIS. Once you're confident that these are all set, go down in the corner and click Get Data. So in this case, we're working as if we're in Romance languages. To actually set your course preferences, you want to double-click any of the courses. In this screen, the Course Navigator, select which section of the course you're going to be working in and click Edit. This is the screen where you will be setting course preferences. The first option here is Room Settings. You can choose to set standard room preferences, room not required, or have a same room preference. In this case, we're setting standard room preferences. Room not required is only used if you will absolutely not need a room for the course whatsoever. Same room we will cover later. Down here, you can set preferences for the buildings and for different features in the room. The Buildings dropdown has three options: Buildings, which are pretty straightforward, Areas, which are groups of buildings, and then Views, which are groups of rooms. In this example, we're going to be requesting a room in Boylston Hall. So once you've selected a building, you can also select a room, preferring 103, 104, or 105. You can also prefer a room type, a seminar room, a classroom, or even a lecture hall. One thing to note is if you control a space, you can mark a room as required. For Boylston 103, because this is a registrar-controlled room, you'll not be able to mark this room as required. However, if it is a room that you do schedule and you're going to be scheduling the course in that room, you can click Required, and that course will automatically be put in that room. In the Features section, you can select something is either preferred or required. If something is marked as required, there's no way that it will be assigned to a room that does not have it. So you do run the risk of not receiving a room for your course. So we do suggest that you use that with caution. Finally, in the Notes section, you can communicate anything to the registrar's office that you can't communicate in these other sections. For example, if a room is booked outside of FAS space, or if there's a mobility issue that needs to be considered, or really anything else. We check these over before running any optimization. Once you're set with your preferences, click OK, and they will be entered here. You can view it in the Preferences tab of the Course Navigator. There's one other way to set preferences for a course, which is to use Tools Set Course Preferences. This has a number of applications. The first is you can select several different sections, and when setting course preferences, those preferences will be applied to all the selected sections. This can be different sections of a course, or this can be several different courses. The other use for this is if you have two sections that need to be in the same room. For example, if a section meets at noon and then 1 o'clock and will be the same preceptor, you highlight both of those, click Set Course Preferences, and here is where you use Same Room. So when same room is selected instead of standard room preferences, Both of those rooms will definitely be placed in the same room. This can be dangerous, however, because it makes those courses more difficult to seat. So just use that with caution. That concludes this roombook tutorial. If you have any questions, please email us at roombook@fas.harvard.edu.